very simpler. We want to help companies to basically filter out candidates as early as possible by putting as a requirement for applicants to have the SVT token that represents a test, some kind of certification. So you can imagine that there is some position, and then like this finance person has his position, and they want to have this person to be attending the BNB Hackathon session, right? So if we connect to wallet here, and then go here, you can see that my account has tested. So I have this soulbound token, so I'm able to apply. But if we go here and remove this token, then I won't be able to. So nothing wrong here. But basically, when it's revoked, then the application is not possible. So this job board, in example, is kind of use case for the platform that we want to build. In more general sense, we want to have companies using our platform to create soulbound tokens and to give the soulbound tokens to their users, their customers. And it might be from our website, or it might be using APIs and integration with like their platforms, integrated with our system to manage the whole token system. Thank you.
When I visit the company, I post the job box and it selects the criteria based on different type of what that you have for it.
Other company who wants to basically job posting there, they can pick which tests from here are required by clicking the buttons there.
Hello, I'm Leon. I'm representing the team at Cave, and we are here to present our project Course 3. My teammates are Georgi and Becca. We are owners of a couple Georgian Web3 startups, USA. And today we decided to tackle one important problem, which is online education and the lack of motivation of people to finish the courses they actually buy and want to go through. Personally, I have purchased many courses on Udemy or some other platforms, and I have never had willpower to complete those courses in proper timeline. So we decided to incentivize the users to finish online courses that they take. So global statistics show that only 13% of people will complete self-paced courses. And for expensive courses like on Coursera, only 55% or 5.4% complete those courses. Besides that, Web3 foundations and some other large institutions spend millions of dollars to onboard many tech people or many users to their platforms and their ecosystems, and they spend this money to kind of educate people. And at the moment also there is no Web3 dedicated platform that will allow users to learn something in the Web3 environment, let's say. So, imagine a scenario where you can take a free course. It's good, right? Another scenario is like when you pay for the course and you get some knowledge and certificate and etc. But what if you could take a course, learn in a proper timeline, and get not only what you paid for it, but also get the rewards back? So let's say you pay 1 BNB for something, you complete it on time and get 1.2 BNB. That would be great, right? So our solution to this is very simple. So we give users the ability to do very simple things. We give them the ability to go to our courses. That's started. And so let's And yeah, imagine a simple platform where you can go there, see some courses, see some details, and let's say you have price for this course is 0.02 BNB, and you get a reward 150 learn tokens. And I'll talk about learn tokens a bit later. And the alteration is 14 days. What you do is simply you connect the wallet. Oh, hopefully this will work. Okay, this worked. You log BNB. Well, and by the way, this is on mainnet. I don't like testnets and stuff. You log BNB. Once transaction confirms, then you get to watch this course. And I hope I have unique balance for this creation. If I do not, I will just switch my accounts. Okay. Yeah. So that's it. All this happens during things all the time. Okay. Let's switch these accounts to option. Just do it everything. Page. Fresh. Let's start over. I connected the wallet now. This is one. Let's log in. Let's log into two. Confirm. Confirm again. And yeah. So let's say I use the course, etc. And then what I do is just unlock rewards. And what I get back is my stake of BNB, but whatever I locked, and also the learn tokens as a reward. So now I will talk a bit about the learn tokens and why it is important. So our main goal here is to have, and our main incentive to create our token is that this learn token will act as a governance token. Besides that, it will be some kind of utility token as well. What we are planning to do with this is create a certificates which will be basically NFTs, which you can get by learn tokens. So there will be an ongoing and increasing demand for learn tokens from the people who actually finish the courses and then want to show off their achievements. Besides that, if you don't manage to get the course done in specified time limit, which was specified on the course page, let's say for 14 days, you don't get your BNB back. So we are using that BNB to first make some liquidity.
Sorry.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the time is over, so I just need to pass the questions.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
I had a question. How long do you think it will take you to finalize this?
About a month. Well, if you work on a proper pace.
So what course will you plan to do on this one? It's like who do you think is a target customer for you?
So our main customers, and we have thought about that as well. So our main customers at the moment that we think that big foundations, like yourself, let's say BNB Chain has some courses and BNB Chain wants to onboard the developers or some other power users to BNB ecosystem, right? For that, you're spending the money to educate people, to educate developers, some analysts, and so on. And we think that this platform will incentivize the developers or some other people to onboard properly on time and faster, basically. And also, I haven't demoed it because I didn't have finish that, but one of the most important parts of this is exams. So whenever you are finishing the course, you cannot claim anything back unless you pass the exams. And that actually gives us the ability to say that someone who has certificate of course 3 has actually finished the course and has enough knowledge to kind of pass some basic tests. So we can kind of say that our NFT certificates will be proof that you actually know something.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Tsono Golabishvili, CEO and co-founder of Project Meta-Nemesis. So, Meta-Nemesis is a free-to-play blockchain-enabled first-person shooter game as competitive as an open-world game. Meta-Nemesis is gamified, metaverse play and non cards, and full ecosystem is supported by Meta. On the website, you can see an overview of our project. It's called BNB. So why create Meta-Nemesis? Meta-Nemesis are focusing 4 big problems inside Web3 gaming world. So first big problem is a pay-to-win mechanism. And if you see in Web2, everything is dependent on scale. And in Web3, we are asking players to purchase a high-end NFTs to compete with other people, and they hate it. So another one is a pay-to-play. So we are putting like pressure to our community. Like we are asking to purchase NFTs, and they can't use it. Their game will be launched in 2 years or 3 years. Also, like last year was a race. Everybody pushed their game. They was purchasing the same assets again and again and again, and creating the same game. And it is not how Web2 gaming works. On the other hand, Web2 players just suffer from denial of property rights. So how we solve the problem? First of all, our game will be free to play, and everybody will have opportunity to test our game and then decide to purchase or not to purchase our NFTs. Then, okay, we sit down inside team that say, okay guys, Web3 is amazing, but we need to solve the problem of pay to win. How we can do that? And we created 100% skill-based algorithm, which help us to split in-game items based on how it is easy use for a regular player perspective and how powerful. Also, we are using Unreal Engine 5, and all assets and codes are created from our team for our game, and we are integrating blockchain and NFTs, so we are supporting prices for our customers. So, Comicify is the answer of our innovation idea. This sound should not be here, but okay, it's with sound. So, we see that in Web3 there is a missing a chain between the players and Web3 game. So what is this chain? Is a law. So we have our players with opportunity to understand law of our game with the help of comics, and these comics will be highly limited NFTs and collectibles. So another problem is over-distributed NFTs. So we created a contract where we put the same NFT quality, 6 same NFT qualities, and you will get one upper quality of NFT. And you need our token to pay. So we are in 7 months of development. We have a prototype game ready. We have BNB Chain working marketplace website. Backend and front-end works are ready. We created tested our algorithm, and we actually finished our financial rounds, and we have made a lot of partnerships. So thanks for information. Okay.
Yeah, maybe you can show a demo of your game, maybe.
Okay, I'll go back.
Why you show the demo, maybe you can answer some question. How do you plan to integrate the blockchain aspect in the game?
So first of all, there are 2 blockchain aspect. We have our token, Mene, and as well as the NFTs. So our in-game items, everything, what you can purchase inside the game, everything will be NFTs, characters, skills, vehicles, everything. What is our mindset that if we're making anything in Web3, everything should be in Web3 and not kind of thing. So everything what you purchase inside our game, it will benefit.
And it's a multiplayer game, right?
Sorry?
It's a multiplayer game. Multiplayer.
Yeah, it is a competitive game, 5 versus 5, kind of like Valorant or CSGO, if you're familiar with this game.
Okay, so compared with other game development games now, however, what's your advantage, would you say?
First of all, if we compare ourselves in Web3, I would say two things. First of all, balanced gameplay, where we are not meeting weapons of how hard powerful they are. Everybody with low budget or high budget are head-to-head, they can compete each other. And another one is the lore. We have developed a full lore system where players will be connected to their characters, to their game, and we will not lose easily from it because they have connection with our game and they don't play our game because of playing learn or other.
Cool, thank you, thank you.
My name is Kirill, and I will present you Soul Blender, a platform which is one of the. So when we created this thing, is we first of all were impressed by the work of Vitaly Buterin, whose article on Soul Blender buttons, and also as a new hype thing. So there's growing market and more demand for new mechanics in blockchain and for more user-friendly interfaces to interact with. So what we offer is you can create Soulborn tokens collections, you can add Soulborn tokens, and other users can request those Soulborn tokens, and you can approve or reject those requests. So this is our platform in a nutshell. The user, for example, a company here they can create a Soulborn token collection, and they can deploy it to with our they can deploy it to blockchain and to RPFS, and then, for example, another user can claim the Soulborn token, and we can either approve or reject it. Any user that has repeated this token can either approve or reject it. There's basically two ways to monetize this thing. It is B2B. It is paying for creating those collections, and B2C it is collecting fee for mining those collections. Here I'll outline a few prospects for these applications. For example, you can emit educational diplomas in form of Soulborn tokens. For example, verify attendance to some events, for example, hackathons, or you can manage subscriptions with those Soulborn tokens if you assign a detail to Soulborn token, and if your Soulborn token expires, then your subscription expires as well. So here's a demo. We as a company, the company which is also a user creates a collection. Let's name it, for example, BNB Chain. We provide a description, upload a logo, and we create this collection, and then we can deploy it to the blockchain. We sign it with a MetaMask, of course, and it has been deployed. And finally, what's deployed is our collection, and now we switch to another user which wants to claim a Soulborn token in this collection. It goes to our site, and it requests a Soulborn token. This request is again signed with MetaMask. And then we will see that the company can either approve or reject this claim.
So that's all right. Thank you. Any questions? Zoe, Arno?
From a
same as before, how long do you think it will take you to really finish what you have in mind, for example?
Sorry?
If you would continue, like if you continue on developing your solution, how long do you think it would take you to finish good working product?
It's hard to place like how
The first version of it, for example.
it's working version, but for production, I think maybe several years.
Do you think it will be possible to like issue different? So you already have like the IPFS connection as well. When you upload description and the metadata, where are they stored?
Okay, so they are stored in the contract. So they are all in the blockchain. And we use IPFS to do all the images. Not only the images, for storing anything, but for example, if you store an image there, for example, the tipo of sleep or
So are you gonna allow everyone to mint Solon token, distribute, or like it's a specific target? And because if everyone can mint, then it's really hard to distinguish the same picture, the same problems NFT. So how will you solve that?
So we basically allow everyone to create their collection. So a company that creates a collection is just
You would like verified collection?
Yeah.
Okay, it's open. So Solon tokens and loyalty rewards are usually used in communities, especially our communities. So the thing is that when you issue actually a Solon token or an OAT for the event or campaign, like thousands of people need to claim that because there are some achievements that they need to complete or some things they need to complete before getting that. For example, some similar platforms provide a subsidized function for company to actually pay the gas fee for their users because when users go to your site, claims a Solon token and see that they have to actually pay a gas fee for that, I mean, that might create a problem for user and also actually the company. In the future, if you continue to develop this platform, are you actually planning that such a subsidized function for companies that could?
yeah, so there's basically two ways of how this transaction can be passed to the blockchain. Our current implementation is the company that pays for creating usual bond tokens, but there's another way that could be implemented is in another step where a company signs an artifact that a user could be able to use to actually mint the token using his own key.
Okay.
Several months ago, I questioned myself, what does this sound looks like? What does my favorite music looks like? Entire piece of art, entire piece of image. So I started to research, and this is where I'm now with my project, with my team. This is the beginning of the real project of NFT. So we created a platform, a website, where anyone could upload their audio or connect with a microphone to transform any sound into the entire image. So this is the process of our webpage. You can click on upload or record and transform into real time based on our software, which is listening several hundreds of times to the frequency, which is transform frequency into the digits into the digital numbers, the digital colors, and it is shaped by different kind of art forms. So this is just the beginning. We took the inspiration as a human eye and the geometrical shape as a spiral. So we went beyond and we wanted to create, we are planning to create a platform where we allow people to connect in the marketplace and upload any kind of music or audio file for musicians to let them sell in different kinds of forms and shapes and get interested for the buyers and NFT enthusiasts and the followers of those musicians and musical bands. As well as we created one of the unique ways of investing in this platform with a colorful way. So we took the most of the well-known color editor called hex codes, which is exactly 16 million, and we filtered from most usable to the less usable and divided it into 9 parts, which we call the planets. The first planet is locked for the team and for the future mentors and investors, and right now anyone of you can connect through the web page and be part of our colorful investment ecosystem. So the process is quite simple. Like you connect your MetaMask wallet and choose the specific amount you want to invest, and click on the link, and you are part of our investor list. On this hackathon, we tried to connect with the BNB Chain, and anyone right now can connect with BNB Chain as well. Previous was only Ethereum, and yeah, you can connect with BNB and with MetaMask, allow any kind of amount you want, and be part of this process. This is my favorite part, where the team is behind of this magical project, and we believe that we are creating something beautiful which will use billions of users around the world. So this is the process we are going through. Right now we are on the pre-seed stage, and we are finalizing all the paperwork, white papers, and preparing for the to improve the software, to improve the marketplace, to make the official launch. As well as for the future steps, we plan to create different kinds of shapes and forms inspired from the nature, as well as different kinds of styles of brushes and different kinds of settings for the make the in real time editing more beautiful and colorful, as well as different kinds of geometrical shapes and forms. So we don't have any kind of limits for what kind of useful cases that will be different kind of directions, like fashion industry or interior or graphic design and so on. As well as in technology, we want to integrate different kinds of tech, like VR, metaverse, and so on. So as well as this is quite very important direction for us, which is synesthesia. We want to integrate this different kind of colorful way of presenting the way people can see the sounds through the colors. This is quite a huge topic, so I won't talk a lot about this, but later we can talk if you want to be interested.
So, before, thank you.
Yeah, final.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is our growth strategy for Georgia. We have already talked with lots of Georgian musicians and bands, and they are ready to participate in our ecosystem, as well as this is the links you can try right now and play different kind of sounds. This is the way to use different kind of music, and thank you.
Thank you.
Questions?
How do you make people want to buy the token, and if everyone can create and everyone's music is different, and how to sustain the intrinsic value of the NFT you're creating?
Okay. So we try to make two directions, one for fun, one for business. If you want to use any kind of well-known music which you are not licensed for, you don't have copyrights for that, you can try it out and play and just share on your any kind of social networks. But if you want to try out and participate, keep transform into an NFT, first you have to prove it that this is your audio file or your music, and then you can upload on our webpage.
Do you already have a Discord or something? Do you already have like some community following you, or what's your plan today? Not the community of like musicians, but like potential buyers.
For the buyers. So we have a list of interested investors for the buyers who are ready to make the investment for different kind of musicians because they are huge fans for personal musical bands and artists. And once I talked personally for several of them, and I've already talked with some kind of well-known musical artists, for example, like Mansell, and he's interested. He already added me on his own Discord channel where there are hundreds of quite top-level musicians, and I'm preparing for the market once just to promote them and be ready for go to the market.
So let's all thank you.
We are creating solution for blockchain-based recurring payment. You can't imagine normal life because without subscription payment, Netflix, media outlets, Spotify, you name it. And our goal is to create a product which would give a convenient way for both merchants as well as their customers to move their subscription-based system payments to blockchain. So here's our architecture. We have a merchant app, which is kind of a subscription admin panel, which allows merchants to create different subscription plans, delete them, and so on. So it partnered with client interface, client app, which will be shipped as browser extension, which will allow clients to view current subscription, cancel them, and log different amounts of money for future transactions. Also, now part of our front-end via payment page is just a way for a merchant to integrate with our project. And about our blockchain is our contract, which moves funds directly to stablecoin without holding funds via our application. And also we have an off-chain cron job, which just checks subscription with conditions sufficient for payments. So here's example of our client interface, which will be shipped as I said, Chrome extension, other browser extension. And here's our admin panel with subscription creation blog. Next slide. So our main features is transparency and safety because we are not holding the funds, we don't have access to them, we just transfer them directly to stablecoin contracts. And also we provide a very straightforward and simple UI for creating a subscription or viewing them and using it overall. That's all. Thank you. Any questions?
How would you build the competitive advantage over the product? So, because if you just imply the recurring payment in blockchain, it's not very hard. So, how will you make sure the payment has a sense of the security and that the service of the business needs?
We are planning to, for example, when you want to make a Spotify subscription, so $5 a month, while making it, you are approving some amount of money which we allow to transfer, and you can approve 100. Give you 20 months to Spotify, and we will just transfer it with that amount every month, but you don't need to we don't hold your assets. We just approve or get your approval for using transactions.
Hello, my name is Sura, and I want to introduce my project. Well, everybody has clothes, we have clothes in our phones, in our computer, but we still buy watches. Why? Because also has everyday purpose. So why don't we just turn these NFTs into clothes? These clothes into NFTs. But there's one big problem here, that NFTs are immutable. But are they actually immutable? I want to introduce our new vision of NFTs and a platform where user can change its NFT. Here is user Suran, which is selling his NFT, and there is second user Liga, which want to buy his cloth. We are using MetaMask here and BNB Chain, and after some period we will be able to buy this using BNB Chain. There's price here, and after confirmation, we just need some seconds to confirm this one. And if you check, oops, there's a problem here. There's a problem with the purchase, but I can show. Let's just wait. And after this purchase, user Mika will be able to change his code. And for example, if we take Zura user, Zura also has its own NFTs, for example, red blog. And after rendering this blog, here we can put our time, for example, 8 and 57. And after change, we can see that. Mika, please can you help me? I'm not familiar with Apple products, but after change we can see that the time has changed. We can perform this change again and we will see the result. Also, this is not everything. As we can see, users can make some business using our platform. And also, what about everyday purpose? Can we use these NFTs as home screen widgets in our phones? Why not? And also, are the clothes only product in our platform? Why should we restrict ourselves? This is just new world in NFT. Thank you for listening.
For the interacting NFT, are you using a standard NFT or are you using a new type of standard to show that it's interactive?
I'm using ERC 721, but I have additional logic on it, which let us modify it.
So, since it has a different logic, do you think it should have a new standard as well, so everyone knows that this type of contract is
It can be said that it's new standard, but I'm using an old one, but I made some additional features on it, which makes me power to change it.
So basically, NFT and interactive, and then you actually form a new NFT with additional elements, right?
Yeah.
So is this a new NFT, like what about the early one? Or you just change the previous NFT or actually burn the previous one and generate a new one with the new elements?
Well, I'm meeting it in BNB Chain right now, and there is something, other platform, and through this platform I can change this. But this file is a specific file which allows me to make some changes using my another platform. This is my structure.
So you change the metadata, but not...
I'm not changing metadata. I'm changing this file, but not in the blockchain.
Okay, so in the blockchain it's staying the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Well, studying for great national education. In the industry, it's analytic data as a pure and tons of raw data, and we want to make rich with the AI industry and innovators. Everyone can become an innovator. What is data annotation? It's just simple process of with new data. Here we can see example when you're using image label image. Also, data annotation tool market size 61 million in 2021, and it anticipated to grow 30% per year between 2022 and 2028. In our app, users will be able to anonymously post annotation tasks and announce reward within the team. And annotators can choose to work on the task and receive their share of the reward. And any features. Any site can choose to be anonymous, then no censorship, open and crypto, and at the same time we have really good data protection and protection from fraud, and also annotation quality control. So
here's the process of how the data moves through our app. On the customer side, we provide the customers with a backend app in which they receive some URL from which our annotators can receive the images. Customers place an order to a smart contract. Then annotators receive the info about all the orders and choose which order they want to pursue. As part of the order, annotators receive the URL that customers provide. Then through this URL they receive annotated data, they provide some annotation, and the annotated data is sent to verifiers. It's a network of trusted third parties that check that all the data is correct. Okay, this is how the money flows in our system. Customers provide funding for the tasks they want to be completed. Then when annotators complete the tasks, they say that as was shown on the previous slide to the verifiers. Verifiers confirms that the data is correct. Then most of the funds goes to the annotators. And the contract owner and the verifier took some fees for all of this to be visible. And this is an example of how our interface works. This is a list of orders, and this is some particular order where we can take it and submit it. As you can see, there are rewards and the amount of data annotated show as well. Okay. Currently, our app is just bare bones system that allows annotated to annotate data and verifiers to verify this data, and there are a lot of room to grow. One of the projects, one of the ways we can enhance it is to provide some gamification with this app, so some progress statistics, maybe some daily reports. Something like that. Also, we can provide the data protection on every step through use of ECCA signatures and certificates, both for customers and for verifiers and annotators. Also for some customers, it may be important that their data will be shown only to some trusted people. And we can provide this trust by integrating identity verification. For example, through identity tokens that the next blockchain provides. I don't remember. So that's all in place. Great, thanks.
So currently you are only two in the team, or there's other people in the team?
We just have one developer online.
And so you started this idea for the hackathon especially, or it was already an idea before that you had in mind?
No, I found this idea and I had it just 2 days ago, and I used to develop it, just not developing this whole architecture, so it's just a recently. There's nothing like it on the market right now.
Right. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. So
would you like to describe like the incentive system in details, like so is it will be through a token or like how you'll incentivize and annotators and validators in the system?
We incentivize the incentive comes from the orders from the customer. So customers provide the funding, then verifiers receive the fee, and the annotators receive most of the money. There are multiple verifiers, and verifiers compete between each other for the fees. So customers can choose which verifiers they want to verify their data. So there is competition between the verifiers to receive this fee, or to set their own fee. So if they are trusted by a lot of customers, they can increase their fees. So if the customers choose them, more money will come their way.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Hey guys, my name is Irina. Me and my teammates are from Republic of Russia, Republic of Kalmykia, which is currently part of Russia. And our project is named BNB. It's a service for recurrent payments in crypto. With this service, we want to help independent media and anti-organizations and activists in Russia, because it's not safe to donate money via fiat. For them, the donor can even end up in jail for these actions. For example, two of my teammates here are investigated in Russia for their anti-war position. So these activists and independent media are asking donations in crypto. And for them, it's better to have regular payments. This way, they can plan their work, plan their budgets, and understand what amount of money they can be expecting next month, for example. And now my teammate will show how it works.
Okay. Most of all, we have already deployed to the production to the BNB chain. Could you help me with holding the mic? Okay, thank you. And create kind of example. We deployed on the BNB chain our smart contract. You would register right now here, and then trying to donate some money. We support USDT and USDT right now, and how it's work. We create something like a lot of chats that people put cash in certain moment, and it's basically all about smart contract system. I show you how it's so much money. I don't have so much. Please don't my account. sorry. I'll show you the example of how you could easily send check. It's created 12 checks for the testing account. And then I could claim it. Right now only the first check of $10 and just leave. And I get all my money that's currently available for me. I think that's pretty about how it works.
Yeah. So now it's only for donation use case, and in the future it can be extended to other use cases for any recurrent payments for contractors, or payments for subscription-based businesses, or paying money to contributors and everyone you want to pay regular money.
So that's all.
That's all.
besides the recording system itself, what other function do you think you need to build to enable the real use case that you want to do?
There are a lot of interface work, I guess, needs to be done to show how many money you can claim right now, what's some kind of reporting and statistics, I guess.
So how long do you think it would take you to finalize it? The first version?
I think something like 1 week, and I think we will deploy our widget to Hackathon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. So basically, we see a lot of problems right now in the charity organizations around the world. The fact that not all of them are transparent, the fact that the funds have to go through so many instances or people before they finally go to the beneficiaries, and possible corruption as well, we see a big problem that is it is the fact that the beneficiaries do not always receive 100% of donations every single time that they would like to send them. So basically, our idea behind this is to create a platform that would connect all of those three entities one place in a safe environment. For example, let's go through the eyes of the campaign organizer. You create your campaign, you list it, and you upload the special list with all the information of the beneficiaries into the blockchain, and thus create a smart contract donation pool that will automatically, after some time, which I'll put there, distribute the funds directly to the redeemers. From the donator's point of view, all you have to do is you have to send the donation you'd like to donate to the smart contract wallet. Now let's go through the beneficiaries. You find the campaign that you're a part of, you verify your identity by the third-party KYC providers, and then receive the sold-on tokens which cannot be traded, and therefore can only be received or revoked. After that, if you are the beneficiary with the sold-on token, you can redeem the funds from the campaign donation pool only if you have the sold-on token. Now let's go, for example, how it might look like. This is the list of the campaigns. You find the campaign that you personally would be interested in, and if you'd like to donate, you donate, receive the link, send. If you would like to verify, you click verify and go to the third-party KYC provider and verify your identity right there. If you'd like to view the progress, you view the progress of how the campaign is going. And upload to this right here, your campaign, and also when you're verifying, you can receive funds. Now what this actually does is provides transparency. Because of the blockchain, every single transaction that is going through the donation campaigns can be viewed by everyone. Second, what it actually does, because of that, and because of how the smart contract is done, the funds go directly to the beneficiaries without having to go through an organization or a special type of people before they are received by the beneficiaries. And thus, beneficiaries receive 100% of the funds every single time. The list, of course, cannot be edited post-factum, and it is also good for the organizers because it is easy. For example, if you're not a big charity organization, but a person who would like to create a smaller cause, upload your cause on our platform. Let's say, for example, a family in your community that you know that needs support. And this way you can expose this problem to the whole world and giving the whole world a chance to contribute to a smaller cause. And also, it is a great first launching of application where a person who has not been, is not interested in trading, is not interested in many other things, but is interested in helping other people out. We know that, for example, we understand this, that not every single person who could receive the funds is having a smartphone, for example. But there are people who are eligible for help, who need help, and who are eligible for this platform. And while we might not be able to help every single person around the world, the ones that we're going to be helping, we're going to be helping for 100%. Thank you.
Do you have a product demo, like a small MVP, or are you not able to finish it?
Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to create a workable demo right now.
Just curious for the rapid stream for this project because it's kind of like
give a free website for everyone to put the charity project on it. So where does the revenue stream come from?
The revenue stream for the company that is operating the
Yeah.
platform? That is a good question. We did not think of a revenue stream because we would think that this is for the charities and we would not be actually receiving any funds from it. This would go directly to the benefactor. So this is a sort of a volunteer work with us.
Okay, so there will be no tokens for this project.
For this project itself, no tokens. The way you will be donating is to the stable funds directly. Thank you.
Hi, I'm presenting the cashback point project. And what we do right now, we have an MVP which works on Web 2. It is an IoT device which we sell to a customer in order to collect money from the clients who need their service. And it's generally based on very low, the service fees are very low. So for example, there are only quote services which cost less than 10 cents. So where we need to have very low fees. And we'll just talk about the problems and what we try to solve with digitalization of the funds or assets. On the left side, there is a coin validator and the box which collects money, which is stolen, and it's like Cambodia. The issues with the cash is that we need to have convenient use. We need to have specific use in order to pay for service. In this case, it's an elevator, and it was like less than 3 cents to pay. That's why in order to if they use the cash, it's hard to collect money from here because the boxes are collected like monthly, and they to support them, they need some more hands. Digitalization helps to have a trackable process, so we know how much income they have from a government perspective. Also, they don't need to collect it monthly, and the payment methods are more flexible. So you can pay with NFC tax, with cards, or even remotely from mobile. There will be a video shortly where we have this device prototype working. Use your card, and it checks all the user needs space transaction. It works on backend. So right now, why we need to have this application at all? Because someone may say that the transactions also are possible to do with bank cards. But in Georgia, for example, the bank cards take the lowest fee, like 0.1 lari, and plus 8%. So if your service costs like 0.5 or 0.05 lari, then you will pay to a bank a lot more than you gain by yourself. So that's why we need to have something like a wallet, which can distribute among the parts of these assets that they have, and pay only once per month or something like that to decrease the fees for the banks. So this is the application where you need nothing in order to transfer between cards, and you can just scan QR and continue driving. And why we need the blockchain? Because I will repeat that the database that we have on Web2 is just centralized, and we need to have it more secure. So we need to have a proof which is possibly publicly visible, so the owner of the device who collects the money, they can track the transactions and be sure that we don't update manually something in our database. So yeah, it's immutable, it doesn't have limitations like banks transaction itself. So the project is like a hybrid. So, and yeah, now it's cashback maker. This slide was it's all
A few minutes for the pitch. Sorry, everybody.
Any questions?
So it's like every time you pay, you get a cashback.
So the cashback is only when you don't use the service till the end. For example, if you have an elevator of 10 floors and you go on 7th, you will get the tokens. So this is the point where you can get the points as a user in order to collect them and use later and to pay to a service owner. So he collects these tokens from you in order to pay for me as a gas. So these tokens that the user has generated as a cashback because of the place they didn't use it is actually the fuel for the IoT device owner, so they don't pay anything. But at least once they need to buy tokens to fill their device to make it work.
So this cashback coin is a special coin that you issue the coin or like a mini coin?
I usually get it. So it's on BNB Chain. It's ERC
okay. So it's a new type of coin and okay.
So this is something that can be used here because this is all like some elevator opening here, right? Or you need to pay to be able to use it.
Yes, and this is like a slight move to move from the cash, to move from the money, real money, to tokenization. So I expect users to leave the money itself and buy tokens from me in order to pay the direct guy. But it will take the time and we'll start with the cashback.
Thanks.
Okay, hi everyone. When choose a problem, now in the world, company lose money on this option, employees lose money, we have big inflation, and in Web2 world, we have some tools for work with that. In banking, we have deposit and another invest tools, and we want to avoid discounting money. Our solution is a crypto payroll platform on the BNB chain with a built-in yielding opportunity. Okay, yeah. Okay, we now we add to staking some tokens. And after this, yeah, okay, and after this, I create transactions for pay some salary to my employees. Main idea, our plans, it's a this is transactions. Main idea, if I be some company with a if my company have employees and I have some cash, I can stake in this cash and after this pay salary for a lot of employees and yeah. Yeah, how it works? Like a company, I put some cash to my wallet and put this all my money in staking. After this, I pay salary by cash or cryptocurrency for each employees. What business model? We want to raise a percentage for the use earning by the company. We have a big market size. $1 million, and in future we want create other features, maybe subscribers fee for the white label or some banking products for this service. In our team we have 5 teammates. Alex, it's me, team lead, Solidity developer, front-end developer, back-end developer, and designer. Why you should choose us? We want to create first banking tool for a business, and it's good way, and Binance want to create something product like this. Okay, thank you. Actually, we create a video. We have. In the demo, we create statement for page that, and we create sending money to different accounts. Now we have all in one interface, but after the presentation I can show by another computer because we have problems there. But there you see we pay by tokens, 10 and 100 and 500 tokens. And I show this in my smart. This is smart contract, and these transactions, and this is vision send. For a deposit staking, you can Google Compact 2 in our GitHub.
So which country do you want to use it first? Country.
I think first country is Russia because I want to use this product like for my company because now I just send money by manually for each developer and I stake my money for myself like a company. Next step is maybe Turkish or Belize because Georgia, sorry, because there we have free or government didn't no regulation this stuff.
Thank you.
My name is Luca, this is my friend Data, and together we are comprising Mutex, which is an aspiring infrastructure as a service platform for game developers with a primary focus on indie game development. The primary issue that we're trying to address is that in the modern world of game development with blockchain integration, there is still a heavy presence of centralized services. If you go to the top games produced by highly funded companies, you will still have to download your binaries from an AWS service that is located in US East or Asia Pacific or anywhere else. If you call that decentralization, I'm not sure I could agree with you. Well, Mutex initially started with a solution for this concrete issue, which we solved by including a private torrent network through which developers can distribute the source and compiled binaries directly to the end user through the Mutex plan. Alright, it's alright. The slides are not the most important thing. Oh wait, right. Is it working? It is a pretty it has evolved to be a multi-component system, which you will see a list of the components in a minute here, if they appear to show up. I'm going to repeat that. Very nice. Drag and drop saves the day. So let me just proceed quickly. New text platform, we got that part, data to the components. Yeah, technical difficulties, but anyway, we have evolved to include 3 components in our system, one of which is a private torrent network. The second one is the Mutex client, which the end user interacts with to access the games archive. And the third one is the Mutex standard development kit, which the developers use to integrate standardized assets and read and write data to and from the blockchain. This allows the games hosted on Mutex to share some common features, which will allow us to build some services like marketplaces and more ingrained communities which revolve around these games. As the users themselves running the Mutex client will be helping other fellow gamers to join their own beloved games. So there will be a higher sense of communion within the community of Mutex users, with the games also being highly specific and targeted to the indie community, since it is right. Here you can see the visualization of these components and how they're going to interact. So the game devs will submit an application for review, and after building, testing, and statically analyzing the games to ensure the code is not malicious, we will submit it to the private torrent network, where the users using the Mutex client will be relaying the game to all interested peers. The Mutex client will also integrate the asset store in the form of a marketplace, where users will be able to share assets between games and between chains. Our plan is to support EVM compatible chains, so we're not only limited to Binance, but we're starting off with Binance due to the highly optimized transaction speeds and low fees. Next, we have a quick demo prepared, like 30-second demo, and I don't think you can run it due to the multi-screen thing, but it's not that impressive anyway. It's basically a torrent client with a hard-coded game that opens up an open-source Super Mario game, and after you're done, you get rewarded for participating in the network, which is a demo feature and won't be included in production. But if we can switch to the roadmap, which, here we are. Currently, we have a semi-working torrent network. We have all the servers ready to bootstrap it initially, since we won't have any other peers and seers. We started adding in read-only functionality into the Mutex SDK, which the developers will be able to use to share data between their projects, such as auction house data or marketplace data coming from decentralized exchanges, such as NFT marketplaces and DEXs. And the rest of it you can see here. The most technologically intensive part is the game pipeline used to approve the games, which we are trying to get started in November of next year, at least the semi-working version. The Mutex client will be available, if all goes well, next year before the summer, where you'll be able to start playing casual and indie games in your desktop with blockchain integration. And after all that is done, we will be ramping on with fiat payment gateways once we have enough users to directly integrate into our client, so you can buy and sell your assets in USD. Thank you very much. There's been a lot of talk, so if you have any questions, it will be highly appreciated.
So would you roll back to the roadmap, the timing you say?
Can you just show us the company for here?
Yeah, I mean, you said the gaming pipeline is November 2023, and the fiat gateway is when the
That's in the end. Funny.
I mean, so this, I'm just want to sure, making sure like the second time is right, right?
Is it
So
2022 or 2022?
yeah, I'm saying.
November.
It's supposed to be February 2023. I mixed up the months. I thought November comes after January, so that's my fault.
Oh, okay, I see.
Sleep deprivation and whatnot.
Okay, so the game pipeline, which means that, what does that mean?
That means the system that will approve games submitted to the Mutex network. We are expecting at first to start with open source games, so we will be statically analyzing the source code so that it doesn't have any malicious code such as hard-coded wallet addresses to get user funds in some way or some virus or anything like that. And it will be also managing the release system, so when the developer pushes an update that it is received by the users simultaneously. It is the core of the system. Without it, it's kind of a ragtag, unorganized thing. The game pipeline is what makes this a robust network.
Okay, are you planning to, is that you can integrate with different games? For example, already on BNB Chain, or you need a new games to integrate with you. So is that something you integrate with others need to integrate with you?
Right. We will be providing APIs and documentation through the SDK, so any developer of an existing game can choose to integrate the Mutex SDK and submit the game to our pipeline.
Okay, understood.
So currently you have 2 people in your team, or there is more people?
There's 2 of us right now. I'm the analyst and he's the software engineer. We have a DevOps and a front end that will be joining us starting next week, since they share our enthusiasm for this idea. However, we didn't want to bother them right away because there's no point in DevOps and front end when you don't really have a working product. But yes, we do have 2 team members that will be joining us starting next week, part-time. And yeah, let's see what we can do.
Thanks.
Thank you. Hello everyone, thank you for having us. So first of all, I'm presenting the Aspis team. Aspis team, what is the word Aspis? Aspis is the shield for humanity to protect it from themselves. So basically we are presenting on-chain asset management toolkits for DAOs, funds and projects. We're solving one of the oldest problems in the industry and in humanities, the principal agent puzzle between the investor and the manager. So basically, there are like 2 entities, one having the assets and the second is managing it, and we need to incentivize the incentives between them. So the first one will not fraud, and the second one will receive enough commission for it. So current solution is using centralized registry like legal entities and just direct trust reputation, and in worst cases, investors directly transfer funds to the managers. In the good cases, they hire legal team, bank custody, then lawyers, sues, like legal issues and so on. This not solves the problem completely, since it's backwards looking, only go for the punishing people instead of preventing the fraud. So we thought that the DAO mechanics and the smart contracts and the decentralized registry is a good way to address this problem, and we're presenting the on-chain agreement, which is managing the relationship between the investor and manager for the DAO. In simple words, that's instead of smart contracts, that instead of pushing and going to the legal officers, you're going and you're not able to make a fraud. So this is our innovation. So our system consists of 3 main things. First is DAO Constructor, which is no code. The second is DAO Launchpad for the fundraising, and the third is Governance Toolkit. Our main use cases is a VC fund pool, tax traders, and data wizards, finance API alternative, which can be combined in a good use case for us. The gaming guilds and the startups, which manage their cap table and treasury management. Let's see our demo. This is how it works. So you specify terms and conditions and deploy your own DAO. This is the only condition stored on the servers. These all the initialized for the smart contract. So here you choose investment manager and stuff. So after you deploy the DAO, you can go to the DAO browser and see all the DAOs which are currently in place with their
the metrics and choose which you want. So if you like this DAO, for example, you can see its portfolio, transaction history, you can see the terms on the join, which is same as legal agreement, but fully on-chain. Then if you like everything, you just deposit, make a swap, return back to us, please, and you can find it in your personal cabinet. In your personal cabinet, you create portfolio, like claims upcoming, and current voting, you can currently vote in. Here, you can create voting, for example, and propose something. So, for example, change spending structure, or change delegated manager, and so on. Thank you for your attention.
How many people is in your team?
We are 8 people. So I'm CTO. Renat is responsible for the business dev and marketing. We have Vitaly here from our team, who is responsible for the product, with Alexander, who is remotely participating in this hackathon. And our development team is from Macedonia. They have traction with them. We help them with the fundraising for their previous project. They have a development agency.
How long again do you think before you can go live? Like, is it before end of this year or early next year?
Regarding the go live, our main bottleneck right now is the audit. So since it's kind of expensive and we depended on that, so I expect that we will have the final version in a month after the first initial testing being by us, but still we need to have more penetration tests and a lot of different stuff, and it will take like 1 more month. So I think that in 1 month we will be fully available as a prototype on Binance Smart Chain, and in 2 months I think that we may go live after we will pass the audit, because this is really important when it comes to the treasury management and funds management.
Yeah, I see a lot of client type you're pursuing. So have you talked with any of your desired client that are they willing to use your service, and like this kind of customer journey investigation?
So currently we have 2 campaigns. So I mean, in general, talking about the go-to-market, we have such influencer campaign, retail campaigns. We have our NFT drop, which allows to use free our product for 1 month. So we have whitelisted more than 500 customers right now, like retail, and more than 40 DAOs currently sign up from different types. So we have certain amount of VC funds and pools, DEX traders and DeFi wizards, who want to do on-behalf trading. We are in talks with like 5 gaming guilds who approve that they will use our solution after we go live. And we are like not so actively onboarding startups, since everyone wants to be launched on the launchpad, but they don't have a lot of treasure right now, so we don't really have startups right now.
Okay, cool. I don't have other questions.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you so much.
We are making Achiever. It's an NFT for education and not only, for more. And first thing that I want to mention, that we built everything during this hackathon, and we came up with this idea only 2 days ago. So we understand that when you build some educational problem, it may be hard to motivate your students or to reward them. You should design your achievement program, you should integrate it with your LMS system, and then you should understand the effect of this program. So we thought that NFT might solve this problem, so we came up with the idea that we can make very simple NFT achievements, which will be no code. That means that you can set up in a minute, and you can use templates for your case without thinking of designing any programs. It should be very easily integrated with other tools, with the LMS system, and to prove it, we integrated with a Tally form during this hackathon, and we will also think that it will be really simple for us to integrate it with Google Forms and with Dapper in a couple of days. And we also built lightweighted analytics systems inside, so you can see the effects from your tool, yeah, from your motivation tool. So, and we think it's used not only for education, it's might also used for streamers to reward some big donations for influencers, and even for more, you can maybe use it in games and somewhere else. So it's how it works, it's pretty simple. So we have users who interact with Stali, and we create a cabinet for creator who can set up everything pretty easy. We use RC 1155 and non-transferable token there. So if you want to know more, just came to us after my presentation. So let's go to the demo. You can scan this code, and everyone who will do it right now will receive NFTs from us. So I will wait for 10 seconds here. And let's go next. So here is a simple article. I just copied the article from Binance Academy, and we just created an integrated tally form to prove that you read this article and that you know everything from this article. So here is the form, and all logic works in this form. So as a creator who created this article, you can go to our service. You can click try now, connect your wallet. Of course it works. Now you can create your collection. We have a default collection that we create for you, and in future it will you can upload your own collection here. So let's create collection, and of course it's broke. Yeah. So let's imagine that everything was successful. Okay, so then the creator connect there in the cabinet. Creator just create an achievement and connect this achievement to this form. That's when someone succeeds with the form, it will be the trigger that we should mint an NFT for these people. So for this person. So if I click on the right answers, for example, there is 3 people questions, and I can fill in my email here, and oh sorry, yeah, my email and some of my wallet. Let me do it quickly. So let's choose this one. Yeah, I just put my wallet here, submit, and the students will see that if everything was fine, they will receive a reward. And we implemented everything right now in testnet. So if I go to the Binance Scan testnet and see what is in my wallet, I should see the NFT. I think it will take a couple minutes. 10 seconds ago, yeah, I'll receive the NFT 10 seconds ago. So, yeah, it works, and we think that our next steps might be to make it, to support maybe other chains or to connect it with Zapier to make it even more accessible for more use cases. Yeah, thank you for listening.
So who's the target customer now?
Yes. Okay. Thank you for the question. I think the first segment of customers might be individuals who create courses, like some developers, designers who are creating like very small courses, and this might be the engagement system for the students. I think it's good to start with this auditory, and also we thought about education in blockchain, people who educate people in blockchains, because they already have wallets, so they can use it to without creating new wallets.
How many people are in your team?
It's four people. Yeah, a blockchain developer, full stack developer, me as a product manager and Nasty as a designer for people.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexei and I'm going to introduce you Lewy, a new learning management system designed to resolve a global problem. So in the last 10 years, more than 20 million people have lost their homes and means of survival because of military conflicts all over the world. So they had to move to other countries, and in the new countries they need to start everything from scratch. Specifically, they need to learn a new language. Probably they also need to get a new digital profession that will allow them making some money to support themselves and their families. And who could help them with that? Volunteers, of course, and there are a lot of volunteers who could do that. And for example, Yulia voluntarily teaching Ukrainian refugees, and she told us that there are some issues with that process right now, and we found two major issues. First of all, it's hard to attract and to keep volunteers' retention on a high level. And the second problem is the current educational approach is inefficient and actually outdated. So to address the first problem, we designed this Steam-like interface. It keeps volunteers focused on their commitments and achievements, and also we award volunteers with soulbound tokens, so they can see that their effort is appreciated. And also, last scientific researchers say that gamified educational process is somewhere by 15% more efficient than the classical one. So we decided to gamify students' experience as well. And for students, we propose to use interactive skill map and visual roadmap and progress bar, so they can always be up to date with how they're doing on their skills, new language or new profession they're trying to get. And of course, in the future, we are going to make this product profitable. We have two ideas for that. First of all, we can set up DAO for scholarships distribution, and also we want to empower corporates to conduct their trainings on the platform. Demo time. So here we see that what the students see on the platform. So they enter the nickname, log in with MetaMask, of course. Then they see a couple of lessons that are available for them, and they see the lesson and an exercise from the lesson. So we just pass the exercise. Be careful, don't choose the wrong one. It's very important right now. Yeah, so it was a success, and the achievement has been unlocked, and NFT is going to be minted. And by the way, students are also getting soulbound token, and soulbound token minting is paid by community fund for students. So you've seen that it was minted and we found on the scanner. Here's our team, we have 4, you see on the line. Thank you for your attention. If you want to become a volunteer, please scan this QR code and fill up a Google form. We'll reach out to you with details later. And feel free to contact us via Telegram or email. Thank you.
So who is paying the minting of the token?
There are two types of minting these soulbound tokens. First who can get that are volunteers, and for minting their tokens, they're paying themselves. Well, thanks Binance, the minting fee is very low, so I think they can afford that. And for students, minting is being paid by the community fund.
Because you have a community fund which is used to pay the minting for the refugee, which I think that is,
of course,
since then. Interesting.
You mentioned you want to develop the course by yourself, right? Or like the whole system, or how who will design? Are you looking for partners to co-design the English teaching course, or you'll develop yourself?
So I'm not sure if I can please repeat.
design the course?
Volunteers, of course, can design their courses.
Okay, so each volunteer will design their own course and then design.
Of course, there will be some courses that are available for everyone, but if a teacher has his own opinion how the course should look like, they can design it themselves.
Okay, I see.
Well, it's already working, by the way. We have an admin UI for that, and it's working. The course you've seen was built by our admin tool.
Okay, cool.
Everything was done during this weekend, or you already decided to have it before?
Well, it's actually a working product. The NFT topic was introduced recently, but the whole course, lessons, things were done previously, and even some teachers and some students were working on this platform already.
Nice. Thanks.
Here, I want to introduce our project. So let's talk about education in the Web3 industry. To be honest, there are a lot of problems. For example, from a user's perspective, it looks like education is boring, and users want to play, not to draw. So today's conclusion what learning should be incentivized. From a business perspective, it's look like projects becoming more complicated, and not all users are really experienced for them. So companies are ready to pay for experienced users. So how can we solve these problems? We can teach users and pay them in native products. And also you can use our platform to incentivize them. And finally, you will receive access to experienced users for your project. So what is our platform? We are proposed to involve users become reviewers for each other. You, as a user, can earn not only by learning something, but you can learn by evaluating our projects, our project of peers on our platform. So you will become a teacher for them. By these things, you can boost your level and even become a guru for young adults. So during this month, we can build a prototype of our platform, and here is like that. Here, user searching for interesting groups and going through the learning process. You have seen it a lot of times today, but after user finishing his course, he must after finishing course, user must after finishing course, user must pass the exam, but it's not a key feature. Key feature that user should be evaluated by another person, and so we have seen what user received 50 points after he finished the course, but he will receive a full reward after he will be evaluated by another person. And also, our user is incentivized to evaluate another person. So we have a peer-to-peer platform where users can evaluate each other. So our roadmap is looks like this. From business perspective, we are going to implement path for companies where we can promote their projects and gain more experienced users. And from technical perspective, we are going to polish our project. So here is our architecture. We have a safe critical business logic in smart contract and not critical in our so that's all. Thanks for listening. I'm ready to answer your questions.
So you are 2 people.
Yeah.
You started this weekend as well, or you already had said that?
Yeah, our prototype was built during this hackathon, and I want to repeat what our key feature is peer-to-peer system where we build a community and where every person should be evaluated by another.
So the key problem the solution will be able to solve is what?
So you mean what the problem our solution is? Okay. So there are a lot of different projects where you just receive an NFT, but it doesn't mean anything. So here we build a community where each person is responsible for another. You will incentivize them to evaluate another peers, and so it's gonna be interesting experiment how random people interacting with another people. So every peer will be stored in blockchain, so we can check and understand what.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
My name is Tony, and I figured out that the name looked like a name of Harry Potter book. So, yesterday we were developing the unique set of tests and quests with the achievements and NFTs for every test pass. But then we came up with another idea. Let me introduce rolling cats. So, Crypto.com expects 1 billion users till the end of this year. And this means that the market will be flooded with novice traders who will be willing to figure out how the market works. And the game is the easiest way to onboard newcomers. By the way, I guess that experienced users will be also glad to prove their knowledge. Yeah. So this is where our queue is rolling. Rolling Cats is a multiplier quiz game. The faster you answer, the further your cat goes. As you enter the deck, you'll receive the SBT token. Why SBT? Come on, this is your pet friend, and pets and friends are not for sale. This system can be implemented to any other game. Sorry. I wanted to say that by the end of the game session, you'll receive a score, and it will be displayed on the scoreboard. And as soon as you hit the threshold, your cat will receive the visual changes. And now about the system. Yeah, we like to implement this SPT scoring standard to another games. For example, everybody knows that there is a global ranking system in chess, for example, and it can be easily implemented to chess as well. It will give all the advantages of blockchain, like transparency and so on. But let's come back to Rolling Cats. The game is all about the community. Our users will be eligible to suggest their own questions, and users can vote for another questions by their SPT tokens, and it's something like DAO mechanics. All in all, to save the retention, we're implementing the the farm mechanics, something like. All you know that getting a pet is a lot of responsibilities. So with our rolling cats, you'll need to be present. Adapt there daily and feed your pet to get cool hats and other cosmetic stuff to make your kitty looks unique. And the very last, all the stuff will be stored on chain. Every game session will be composed into the transaction and stored on the blockchain. So that's it. Thank you for your attention. Any questions? Demo? No, not demo. The idea hit like 12 hours ago.
So the aim would be to have like different quiz to let the user progress its knowledge, right?
Yeah, because the competitive spirit, as I said, I think this is the engine. This will attract the attention of people. You shouldn't underestimate the people's will to be on the leaderboard and to have a unique cat and to evolve it and so on. So we guess this is the key. That's all. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
So online learning is one of the fastest growing ways of education, and people are widely accepting it. We then decided to integrate blockchain technology in the education process by our unique way. Our idea is simplifying and a bit gamifying the educational process, making it easier for the beginners understanding of Web3 concepts, and also increase motivation for this process. Is it really difficult to use only theory about Web3? We provide the instrument to make it easier with our platform. Everything happens inside the Ethereum virtual machine. So the experience is as close to the real thing as possible. It's like a meta-universe inside a meta-universe, where the math and results are the same, but different platforms. It's kind of like of the virtual box or a Docker of the centralized world. Everything that happens inside of emulation has no effect on the real assets on the real platforms. The courses are built mainly on interactivity for each user. Before the course starts, our blockchain microservice generates test transactions for students and checks the results of the smart contracts. This approach allows us to use kind of anti-cheat system where all answers are generated individually for all users. This is not the only boring text or video course on blockchain. We added immersive experience in the world of Web3 technology interaction with the smart contract.
Yeah, we are not Uniswap, but we have taken the wonderful idea of community pools that perfectly scalable and store all necessary information about the pools. As you know, Web3 worlds consist from the three levels of abstractions. It's blockchain, protocols, and Web3 platforms. We want to be not only like Web3 platforms, but a cool Web3 education protocol which can be used by different peoples and platforms. In order to unify our protocol, the first step is to highlight the main functionality. For this, we have first layer is our interface that should be implemented in different education pools. Next layer, you can see education pools that store all necessary information about the course, perform validation of the student result, calculation final score, calculation the rewards, inform our gamified brain token for successful completed course, and store signature of student result. Next level you can see is a lot of smart contracts. It's our NFT diplomas, which generate NFT certificate. Checks the fact our NFT diploma working directly with education pools
for checking facts of the completing the course and meeting the certificate. We have our gamified brain token. It's used for creating rewards for students after successful completing the course. It's not tradable token. You can solve this token on exchange because we blocked transfer function. This token can be minted after completing the course inside education pools and can be burned inside our marketplace. You can buy a different achievement, you can buy exclusive course, or will be early tester of our exclusive course and get more rewards. As you know, As you know, now it's very popular idea of Web3 passports and Web3 social profiles. Thanks to him, you can get access to private sales, public sales, seed rounds, and be whitelisted in different Web3 projects. We want to be also part of the Web3 passports and Web3 social profiles because we have because our NFT diploma is compatible with these platforms. Compatible with okay. Yeah. It's
So the time is up. Okay. So
yeah, and please, if you have any question, ask it please.
Can you just show the last slide?
This one.
Thanks.
Yeah. This is how quiz are working.
So most of the logic is on chain.
So what's good?
Most of your logic is on chain in smart contracts.
Yes, exactly. And this contract is already deployed in BNB Chain, but unfortunately we don't have enough time to connect this logic to our web UI.
Do you have any question?
No, maybe, okay. So, I think this is the last group, so I need to, everyone actually help create a group and invite maybe Arnold and me in the group and share the PowerPoint demos and GitHub in the group.
we'll share with you.
No, I want the group, so if we have any question, we can, because with the judging period is one hour, so if you could, we're in the group, so if you could add us in, you have everyone to add us, and if you have any questions, we can immediately ask while we're doing the judging. Is it okay for everyone?
Perfectly fine.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay, and hi again. And of course, we continue and we want realization of this platform because we have a lot of people who doesn't understand what is crypto, what is blockchain. And if you're interested, you can find me in a Telegram, in an after party or lunch, yeah. And write me about your idea or what you want. We realize we want really create a new platform and good platform for easy understand how this works. For a start, of course, we use Tech network, test network, and our customer doesn't need to send big